Good news, South Eleuthera, of course, you know that economy has been extremely sluggish, if not even more stagnant, for decades now, really, after being such a great economy many, many years ago.
Yes.
Well, the announcement earlier today as well came from the Office of the Prime Minister during the weekly news conference, is that the Cotton Bay and Marriott have come together within an agreement to bring the luxury Ritz-Carlton Resort and residential community to South Eleuthera, Cotton Bay to be exact. Good news for that area,
Yes.
and what are your thoughts about it?
I think Eleuthera in the next probably 10 years will be very vibrant because you also have Disney down there as well too. And so if everything comes to fruition, remember now we've been talking about this Cotton Bay now for forever
For
now.
a minute.
Okay, so if it comes to fruition, it'll be a good thing for South Eleuthera. The area needs that stimulation, and I think Cotton Bay. But I think though when I look at South Eleuthera, I was very so much impressed with the level of small and medium enterprise budding within the area.
And a lot of them too are taking advantage of, and I hope this, just because they're taking advantage of it, it doesn't sort of phase out. But the Airbnb,
Airbnb, yes.
Yeah.
But a lot of homeowners are foreign homeowners, and the locals normally take care of their residents. I think though, but when I look as I ran in Eleuthera the last time, South Eleuthera.
Oh, so you know
and
it
so
well.
I was able to knock on a lot of doors, and I was able to see what's going on the ground. And when I see a lot of small and medium enterprise and how enterprising the people are, it is so amazing. And so I think though, beyond building hotels, so I think we need to encourage that small and medium enterprise by providing funding for those who are developing their own craft, developing their own industries. You have from developing salt. You have someone down in Roxanne have these, they manufacture tables out of glass, crushed bottles. And so, you know, I think
the opportunities are ripe now for
listen,
anybody who wants it to jump in and take advantage.
the creativity is beyond comprehensible, what you see in Eleuthera. And I say to myself, if they only have the support from government, whether it's providing them
but also themselves, because Cassius, I want to say this, and I agree with you, yes, government, the member of parliament, whomever, right? Or perhaps all from local, central, whatever. But if you look at North Eleuthera, it is a different sort of energy and mindset, meaning the people there are creative on their own. So I'm saying then to the people of South Eleuthera, start thinking, start becoming creative, because the opportunities are there. Disney is already on, the construction is already ongoing and happening over there. Think of things. Cotton Bay is sown about, and that area to start having a new energy, new construction, new jobs. Think of things that can be spin-off opportunities that you can plant. Someone was just, so amazed and impressed by a new sort of English-based cafe in the Governor's Harbor area where the tables are outside and it gives a very European feel. They just bragged about it several times to me. What I'm saying to South Eleuthera now then is begin thinking.
Like I said, you have a lot of investments, but I think though, just look at the challenges they have. So if you do a SWOT analysis, what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that are facing the people of South Eleuthera? Some of the threats are that, first of all, there's no capital, okay? And then even there's no banks. And so if you're down
that's most of Eleuthera.
If you're down in Deep Creek and you need $50, if you don't have an Island Lock account, you have to go into Rock Sound to the ATM machine. If that don't work, you have to drive all the way up to Governor's Harbor. And if that don't work, you're in trouble.
And they would know what they're complaining. I'll tell you this. I did a show, Cassius, in an interview just recently of an Eleuthera businesswoman, and she talked about having to go to Spanish Wells to the bank.
Yeah, because of course the banks pulled out. And so because the banks pull out, because, the banks are looking at their bottom line. And if most of the accounts in the banks are not dynamic or not active, they can pull out because they have to cover their overhead. And so right now, we don't have any banks per se other than the Bank of the Bahamas down in Rock Sound. Now, I think the government needs to do more or expanding the Bank of the Bahamas, or perhaps provide digital payments to those people in Eleuthera so that we can now open it up. They don't need a bank account. They could just have everything on their phone, their accounts on their phone. Island Luck is now operating as a quote-unquote medium for transferring their monies, but it's important for us now to begin to open up the economy with the event of all of these new projects. We need to put banking infrastructure in place, because if these people get paid, where they can put their money. You understand? And
Absolutely.
so, but also to how are you going to invest in them if you don't have the vehicle to provide the capital in the first place? And so we have to look seriously at making sure that the financial infrastructure is secure in Eleuthera, north and south, so that in the event of, in the advent of all of this happening, everything will flow fluidly and seamlessly.
I want to ask you, before we go to the Mount Tabor Minute of Inspiration, 90 rooms. Do you think that's a bit too much for South Eleuthera? Should it be downscaled a bit, or 90 rooms is ideal? 90
rooms, first of all, we need to make sure that the airport in Governor's Harbour is fixed.
In Rock Sound?
Well,
there's an airport in Rock Sound?
Rock Sound needs to be fixed. Governor's Harbour is the capital of Eleuthera, and the airport is horrible. That the runway needs to be fixed. The airport is dilapidated and it's been overlooked. When I've been round about it, and I promised them people if I had been, I was going to fix the airport the next week. But of course, that didn't happen. And so I'm sure the airport's still bad. The concentration is focused more on the north. The airport in the north is heavily concentrated on, because you have a lot of expats going into Harbour Island, the millionaire planes and so on. So that airport is nice. But Rock Sound and Governor's Harbour Airport has been overlooked. I did a tour in Rock Sound Airport. That too needs to be fixed because it's dilapidated. It needs to be fixed. And so the government cannot overlook these major points of entry. So before you now engage all these big players, make sure that the airports are fixed.
Or make a part of the heads of agreement that somehow the investment includes infrastructural development.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And then for a last point too, the hospital. There was a hospital, there was a land that was allocated for hospital in Eleuthera. That has never materialized. And right now, so you're putting all these infrastructure in place, Eleuthera needs a hospital, a proper hospital, because you have the amount of people there, but the infrastructure for healthcare is not there in Eleuthera. Yes, you have some polyclinics down south. You have a polyclinic in Governor's Harbour, but Eleuthera needs a proper hospital.
I thank you very much, Cassius.
Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also follow our TikTok account. Thanks.